Okay, so after cutting the pattern, we're now going to cut on our fabric. This is the fabric that I'm going to use. It's this very brightly colored orange scuba. So this is the lighter version. It's quite light, scuba, and it's got a little bit of stretch. Okay, you can see, not even a little bit, it is stretchy, but it only stretches in one direction. Okay, so then I'm going to use this. I bought about 4 meters of this fabric. I think it's going to be enough, and I'm going to proceed to cut. I'll show you once I've cut, because my table is small, so I probably will have to spread this on the floor and then cut it off. So what we are going to do is you are going to place your fabric, like I'm going to place this one right sides facing. I'm just going to fold it into 2. Okay, yeah, so I'm just going to fold it into 2 like so. Okay, I'm going to fold it into 2 and spread it. I'll do it on the floor because my table is not wide enough. So just fold it into 2 and then arrange it. Place your fabric on top and then cut. You're also going to cut we're going to cut 2 facings for the front and for the back. And for the hemline and the sleeves, I'm going to use a twin needle so that it makes my work easier to do the finishing. So I'm going to do the cutting and then I'll come back and show you after I've cut. Okay. Okay, so I've gone on to cut the fabric. Okay, so I have tried to spread it here. Okay, so this is our dress for the fabric that's been cut. It's two pieces, so I've cut the back and the front the same way. Okay, so I just pinned it so that it's easy to manage. Okay, so this is our dress. So what I'm going to do is I've also cut 2 facings. Okay, we have 2 facings, and I decided to use the pinking shears for all the edges, because this is scuba, so that it's easy for me to, when I'm sewing, I don't really need to overlock because it really doesn't fray. So I used scuba. I used you see, I think I'm tired. I used the pinking shears or a zigzag stitch. So I also went on to cut 2 facings. I've just pinned them so that it's easy for me. Okay, so it's 2 facings, one for the front and one for the back. So what we are going to do is, first we are going to stitch this to the main dress. So you are going to put right sides facing, okay, and then you are going to stitch all around the neck. So I used a width of about 2.5 inches. You can decide how long you want it to be. So you're going to place it this way. You're going to place your facing this way on your front piece and on your back piece. So it means you're going to cut 2, like I've cut here. These are 2. I've just pinned them together so that they don't give me issues. Okay, so but when I'm sewing, I want to pin this, and I'm going to place each facing, one on the front and one at the back, and then I'm just going to make a stitch here on the main dress. thing is I've pinned them together so that it's easy for me when I'm going to. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine and I'm just going to stitch all around on the front piece, so right side facing, okay? So it means we are sewing on the wrong side. And then again here at the back, going to place the one for the back there, right side facing again. We just arrange it, okay? Then you're going to go to the machine and you're going to sew again at the top there, right side facing, and then when you are done you flip it over, okay? And then so these are the two facings that I have, and then I have the two pieces for the dress. And after attaching the facings to the front and the back, I'm going to put the main pieces right sides facing, and I'm going to join the shoulder. Remember, on this one the shoulder and the sleeve are together. So after I've attached the facing at the neck on both the front and the back, I'm going to go on and take the front piece and the back piece of the main dress, and I'm going to stitch 1/2 inch. I'm going to use 1/2 inch, okay? This is the sleeve opening, I'm going to leave that, and then come under the armpit or the armhole, 1/2 inch. You sew all the way up to where our pattern starts. This is where our style line starts. So I'm going to sew up to here, okay? And then I'm going to go to the other side as well, and I'm going to stitch from the shoulder, from the neck all the way to the sleeve. Leave the sleeve opening, and then I'm going to come under here and continue with the stitching, and I'm going to stitch all the way down up to there, okay? So to finish off this edge where we have the style line, I'm going to use a twin needle. So from here I'm just going to fold in 1/2 inch and then stitch on the right side with a twin needle. So I'm going to stitch from that corner all the way to that sharp corner there, to that triangle. Remember, this is like a handkerchief design. So because I don't want to maybe add another fabric or have funny stitch showing on the other side, because this is scuba, I just decided to use a twin needle. I'm going to use a twin needle, so it's going to leave a nice design in hemming that part. I'm also going to use the twin needle here to hem. I'm just going to fold in 1/2 inch like that, okay? And then I'm going to use a twin needle again. And when sewing or stitching with the twin needle, you top stitch on the right side, okay? So it's going to leave a nice finish on the sleeve opening, and here where we have our style at the bottom to finish off the hem. And then the other thing, here I've cut this piece of fabric to make the belt, okay? So this is the fabric that I'm going to use. So the waist circumference of my client is about 41.5, and because I'm going to be making a belt with a buckle, I'm going to put some hard stay so that the fabric is firm enough, and I'm going to attach a buckle. So because it's going to have a buckle and I need to have those eyelets, so it means I need some extra inches. So I cut this at 48 inches so that she can have some few holes which she can use to adjust tighter or loosen, okay? So I'm going to start with the stitching, and then I'll show you after I'm done with that, okay? Okay, so finally I went on to stitch the dress. So I just joined the back panel to the front panel, and can see I put the interfacing there. This is the inside, and I use some stabilizers because this is stretchy fabric. I'm going to tear off that later on. So I put some stabilizers just to help me stitch on the stretchy fabric or on the stretchy material. So we have the interfacing on both sides, and then I joined them. So I'm also going to iron in some, you know, the double fusible interfacing, just to help that facing to stay in. So I went on to join the back piece to the front. Okay, this is the other sleeve, and I joined the sides. So when you are stitching on the sides from the underarm, okay, so from the underarm you stitch up to where the style line starts. Okay, so this is where our style line was starting. Just gonna move it. This is where our style line was starting, and even on the other side you join your piece first on the shoulder. Okay, so first you join from your shoulder and sleeve. Remember, the shoulder and the sleeve are joined, and when you come to the underarm, you join that seam up to the point where your style line starts, where we had cut off the style line. So on both sides, on your inseam, you're going to sew. You join those two pieces up to where your style line starts. Okay, so up to those two places. And in order to hem the edges of our fabric, like I said, I used a twin needle. You can see it just gives it that professional look because this is scuba fabric. Just want to show you the edge. You see, it makes that double stitch, and it really has a nice finishing. So I used that twin needle to hem the part where we have our pointed sides, and I just made that stitch all around, all the way, you know, it went all the way up to where our style line is, and then round to the back. You can see I used the same stitch. I also used the twin needle for our sleeves, just to hem the sleeves. You can see the finishing looks very nice, it looks very professional. So you can try a twin needle if you are using this kind of fabric, or you can attach maybe another kind of like another piece of fabric, and you sandwich the main fabric in between. But I decided to use a twin needle. I think it looks very, very, very professional. So there we have our dress, our asymmetric dress, looking so nice and so finished. I'll just have to move this so that you can see, because it's a wide pattern, so I can't really cover it at once. Okay, so this is how our dress looks like. I also went on to make a belt with a buckle. It will be worn with a belt, so I just attached the buckle. Let me know if you'd like to see a video on how to make your own fabric belts with a buckle. It has a looper here that you can actually pass through, and then I added in some eyelets just for her to be able to wear it nicely. So the next part of the video, I'll show you a clip of my client wearing the dress, and you should just see how nice and fitted it looks on her. So this is the belt and this is the dress, and check out the next portion of the video so that you can see how the dress looks on my client. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to share and subscribe, and I'll see you on our next video. Bye.